Yo, what it do, everybody? Your favorite anti-hero is back with another video. For those that don't know me, I am the Pepperoni, and here I don't typically like to throw shade, but I do enjoy sprinkling pepper. Because I care. In today's video, we're going to be doing a book review for the novel The Stranger by the author Sylvia Mazzara. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. I hate pronouncing people's names incorrectly. Now, I'll be honest. When I got this book, I already expected to hate it. I thought it was just going to suck. Because the author, Sylvia, she's a Twitter activist. She's very outspoken about the things she believes in, and she and I just believe in two different things. And I was like, she's probably gonna force her ideals into the book. And she does, but it's not in a bad way. Basically, she states her views, and then that's it. She doesn't try to shame or demonize those who disagree with her. And that just comes off very respectful and classy. So yeah, I bought the book expecting to hate it, and I was wrong. Now let me put that a little bit further in context. This is a book, and believe it or not, I hate reading books. It's in the romance genre, which in my opinion is like the worst genre. And it promotes beliefs and political views that I don't have or believe in. And yet, I'm here to tell you, I found it entertaining. It's not a bad book. This author, Sylvia Mazzara, is an experienced author, and she knows her craft. Now, I can't speak for her previous books, but for this book, which was her 7th book, if you buy this book and you read this book, you'll be in good hands. Now, does that mean this book is perfect? Of course not. I'm still going to sprinkle pepper all over this book in a roast video, because if it was created, it was done so for it to be destroyed. And I'm going to destroy it. Because I care. But that's for a different video. This is a review video. The story, The Stranger, is a sci-fi apocalyptic romance. In this novel, you follow the story of a woman named Carla, who comes across a very handsome yet odd-looking man as she's walking down the beach. Now, this odd fellow that Carla meets, his name is spelt like this. Here on Earth, we would pronounce this as Reese. However, this odd-looking fellow, who his hair looks out of this world, and, well, his eyes look out of this world, one can only believe or assume that perhaps his name is pronounced out of this world. So I just call him Rise. Because the fact of the matter is, this Rise character is actually an extraterrestrial. And no, that's not a spoiler. It's not like a big reveal. It actually kind of says it pretty directly on the back of the book. So it's right off the bat in his introduction, he's an alien. So he's from another planet. You see, Rise isn't on Earth simply for his own leisure. In fact, Rise works for a secret group out in deep space known as the League of Galaxies. And the reason he's on the earth is to determine whether or not the earth should be spared annihilation. But enough about that guy. Let's get back to the main character, Sylvia. I mean, Carla. Carla is a vegan from Australia who is deeply moved by the Syrian refugee crisis. Because you see, Carla loves humans so much that she basically just wants to abandon the human race and, I guess, essentially merge with the animal kingdom, which is really odd because it's drawn this distinction between the human race and the animal kingdom. And yet, this book is all about evolving and I guess evolution, and the aliens like Rise, they're from another planet, but they are Homo sapien. They're just further evolved. So humans, it's acknowledged in the book, are evolved animals. They're part of the animal kingdom. So it's odd. Kind of reminds me of the last book I was reviewing and roasting. In addition, Carla loves Mother Nature. Kind of like the last book I was reviewing. But an interesting thing about this book is, in this story, it's not really made specific what Mother Nature is or who she is. Because sometimes it's kind of alluded that Mother Nature simply is like weather and like the climate. Other times, Mother Nature is implied to represent the whole earth. But then at other times, it seems like Mother Nature represents like the entire universe. And there's actually a situation, a scene in here later in the book where Carla actually, quote, sends up a prayer to the universe. Is that praying to Mother Nature? Again, like, is Mother Nature the universe? I mean, in the book, it says that Carla isn't religious, but she's spiritual. But she's like praying to the universe. You know, in the Japanese religion of Shinto, Amaterasu is the goddess of the universe. Is she Mother Nature? Is she the universal entity she's praying to? I don't know. It's kind of confusing. Anyway, one thing we can be sure of is that Carla does not like people who are compartmentalized. And she does love animals, especially her pet dog named Tom. Ah, yes, good old Tom. Tom's been with her, loyal through thick and thin. Even back when she was with her evil ex, Michael. Now, Michael's not really important to the story. He doesn't really have an important role in the story. However, he is part of the main character's backstory. So, if you read the book, you get to see all that in a nice, in-depth flashback of how their previous relationship didn't quite work out. And then you also get some add-ons as Carla gets to talk about it with her dear trusted friend and co-worker, Jaina. Now, that little side character guy I mentioned, named Rise, the alien or whatever, I mean, yeah, he's got like a bit of a backstory too. Like it involves like a ex-wife or something. I think she like dies in a volcano or something. I don't know. It's not really important. I mean, if he was the main character, we probably would, get some kind of like big in-depth flashback and get to see all that alien shit. But we just kind of gloss over it with just some dialogue. You don't get bored with it. Anyway, back to the main character. In this book, you get to see how a human, Carla, has to reevaluate her worldview as she encounters an extraterrestrial from not only another planet, but a whole nother galaxy. In addition, you get to see how Carla um, basically begins to attain like superhuman powers simply by living in close proximity to this highly evolved extraterrestrial named Rise, as well as gaining a deeper appreciation uh, for basically the forces that hold the fabric of the universe together. Now, I'm not going to say what that is. You know, you have to figure that out by reading the book. But in regards to Carla, I mean, it's actually quite a story arc that she gets to have, and we get to see unfold in the book. Like at first, she starts out like really passive. She almost has like this, almost like a victimhood mentality. But as the book goes on, she becomes more of a strong woman. She really begins to like gain a sense of like courage and initiative, uh, to the point that she's not only able to fight to save her own life, essentially, but she's also fighting quite literally to save the whole world. Now that side character, Rise, the alien, I mean he's got a bit of like a story arc too, but it's nowhere near his depth. Like basically, like before the story even begins, like he's already kind of like doubting the moral compass of his bosses, the League of Galaxies, and he's doubting if he needs to continue working with them or not. And then like as the story goes on, like the actual story, he figures out whether or not they're good or bad, and he figures out if he can change them, or if he's going to stop working with them, or um, if they're turning out really good, then he has nothing to worry about. He was just confused, and everything's okay. That's about it. It's nothing really in depth. Between the beginning of the book and the end of the book, I mean, he's the same guy. He's just some alien. Now, on the back of the book, it also says, in addition to it being a sci fi apocalyptic romance, that it has moralistic issues. Now, in my opinion, I think that is the best feature of the book. I think that makes the book so much more interesting, more than just kind of like escapism entertainment. I know a lot of people really appreciate escapism entertainment, but sometimes the best ways to understand reality is viewing it through the lens of fiction. When you're trying to analyze reality from the real world, you feel more close to it, and you can take things a bit more to heart, a little more directly. Uh, Whereas when you view it from a fictional standpoint, you can view it vicariously. You can get away from it, and you can view things a little bit more unbiased. In this book, there are several sections that are very thought provoking. Whether you agree with them or disagree with them, it doesn't matter. The point is that they can start good debates, and that's good. That's something worth your time, you know. Um, Honestly, this book almost it kind of leans towards literary fiction in that regard, because it, in a way, it is kind of analyzing the human condition, and the way our modern world is shaped. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely, you know, a romance. It's got its cutesy moments and its more intimate moments, and if you love romance, you're gonna love this book. I mean, just straight up, I can definitely see how it is. It's a star in that category, um, and it's probably as interesting as romance can get. I mean, it's got high stakes, lots of like on edge drama. The anxiety and tension kind of builds as the story goes on, with higher and higher stakes, so to speak. Um, and with the sci-fi element, it makes it more unique. So, yeah, I mean, it's romance. It's just it does have those more literary fiction moments where the characters are kind of asking the big questions, or at least analyzing the big questions, and sometimes proposing their own big answers. So, yeah, if that all sounds exciting to you and you want to learn about the story of Carla, then I advise you to go to Amazon.com right now and find you a copy of The Stranger by the author Sylvia Mazar. This is actually her on the back. She seems pretty happy, if I can get it in focus. And just for the record, this book is dedicated in the loving memory of David Bowie. So, if you're a big fan of David Bowie, maybe you need to get your hands on this just for that reason. But yeah, that's my review for The Stranger, and that's all I got here. Bye.